Look, I think NAV Fund Administration is primarily renowned for its sort of innovative and proprietary tech stack, our deep product expertise, and sort of our cost competitive fund admin offering just across the entire alternative spectrum, really. We offer a high touch and personalized service to our clients, and I think they really appreciate that, which can be seen by our sort of really high client retention rates. And just one other thing I'd add, just given where we are today, we've got a deep expertise in digital asset administration, and we've got a market leading position there, and one that we're really proud of. I think first and foremost, it's our staff. I think when you look at their tenure, their expertise, their experience, they're pretty unrivaled in the industry. So, 75% of our staff globally have, advanced degrees or professional qualifications, chartered accountancy, CFA, CA. So, we've got a really strong and talented group of people who service our clients. I would say the second thing is probably our high touch service. So, regardless of client sort of size or scale or complexity, we like to offer sort of a white glove approach to our clients. We pride ourselves on our ability to handle all asset classes, all types of clients. And I think that's really stood us well recently as we grow out our business. And I'd say finally, our technology really differentiates us from our competitors. We've got 300 people working full time in the technology group, on a proprietary tech stack, with a mindset of sort of continuous improvement. I think that really results in kind of, exception-based workflow tools that are just really, really powerful. And they allow our staff to be extremely efficient and to be extremely accurate in what they do. And I think that sort of efficiency in our tech stack then again allows us to be very cost competitive in our offering to the market. Yeah, look, I think the economic landscape is kind of a difficult one to predict, right? Like we look at the US and the sort of interest rates being higher for longer, and whether the Fed will manage to sort of navigate back towards normal in an efficient way. In Europe, I think that the macro backdrop is perhaps a little bit easier. I think, look, it's been the biggest year in global history for elections. So I think we've already seen elections in India, and we've seen elections in Europe, where I think the narrative was that the centre held, but kind of under pressure. I think obviously we've got elections in the UK, which are imminent. More than likely, based on polls, we're going to see a change in government. France, similarly, they've called a snap election, kind of measured risk, not sure how that's going to play out. And then in the US, you've got presidential elections, obviously, later in the year with two candidates, neither of whom the public seem really enamored by. So I think there's a lot going on sort of in a geopolitical landscape. And I guess what interests us is how that sort of plays into regulation. So you've seen in the US, sort of the private fund advisors rule been struck down. You've got a regulatory onslaught in Europe, a lot of good ideas and good product. But will that be easy to kind of push through with a sort of polarized or fragmented political landscape? But I think, leaving all of that aside, I think we're in a sort of a golden era for alternatives. I think we're very, very bullish on alternatives broadly, particularly private markets. We've seen explosive growth in things like private credit in recent years. But I think we're still at the early stages of really sort of, what you want to call it, retailization, democratization of private markets. I think it's still an asset class that sort of, will have more mass adoption in future times. And I think that'll be a huge tailwind for the industry as a whole. I think, again, given the sort of forum here today, digital assets, again, sort of gaining mainstream adoption, I think there's still plenty of scale for sort of more commingled products in the space. I think a lot of our clients are sort of raising new funds, raising new capital. And then I think something that sort of pulls the two of those themes together is probably tokenization. Again, a lot of sort of talk about tokenization of real assets and how that will sort of, facilitate growth and sort of mass adoption, of that as an asset class. And I think, look, NAV Fund Administration Group are just really well positioned to service the market in whatever way it sort of plays out. Wow. Yeah, look, I think there's a lot. As I say, we've got 300 people in technology working sort of full time on sort of continuous product improvement. I would sort of single out, I guess, our subscription process for investors, our e-subscription process that's gone live recently. And really that whole investor onboarding process, the investor experience, the data room functionalities, and everything that makes sort of lives easier for our investors. Because, when you look at our client base, we've got a lot of digital asset clients. We've got a lot of clients who are new to the alternatives arena, and giving them paper-based subscription documents was really a no-no. So we spent a lot of time and effort in sort of making that as seamless an onboarding process as we can for our investors. I think that's an area we've really sort of, surpassed ourselves in recent times. I guess from a selfish perspective, I'm kind of proud of the establishment of the Ireland office. So for the first time now, I've had a physical presence in Europe. Obviously, we've got lots of European clients that we've been servicing for years, but first sort of boots on the ground. So I'm heading up the team in Dublin. We just recently got authorization by the central bank, and we've got the senior team in place and doors open for business. So very much looking forward to sort of working with our European clients, both new and existing, to kind of showcase everything that NAV has to offer.